Hey yo, what is up everybody? Welcome back to another video. In this voyage, I'll be unboxing and reviewing this literally chiddly MSI Infinite S gaming PC. A very small and compact PC, MSI claims this to run games smoothly at 1080p and even up to 1440p. Well, let's see how this performs at the lowest spec models. So there's the PC, and it looks like we have a little box here. Oh, it's a keyboard. And this is our PC. So as advertised in Australia, the PC comes with a keyboard and mouse combo. This is the Vigor GK30 gaming keyboard, and this is the GM11 gaming mouse, the small box. Oh, so the documentation is stored together with the mouse. Maybe I'll have a quick go through of these peripherals in this video too. And last but not least, the MSI Infinite S gaming PC itself. Whoa, this guy is a little heavier than what I expected. Okay, the PC finally decided to come out, but how about we go through the peripherals first? It is truly a pleasure that MSI included a gaming mouse and keyboard into the PC box. Well, that's good news for us because we don't have to waste any money on buying peripherals. Well, at least the compulsory ones. Okay, so the keyboard is quite heavy, but definitely is lighter than the Black Widow Elite keyboard that I'm using right now. I've already unboxed and have a quick overview of this Razer Black Widow Elite keyboard on another video, so make sure you guys check that video out too. Link will be in the description down below. Oh. And some. Okay, so the keyboard is definitely made out of plastic, but it's actually quite rigid. However, when I flex it, you can hear that little clicking sound, which is quite strange. You can tell this is not a cheap peripherals. Very impressive with MSI though. I did some research and the keys on this thing appear to be mechanical membrane-like switches, which is just like a clicky mechanical keyboard, but it is a little quieter and mushier. I'm not quite sure what mechanical membrane feels like, but the clicking experience on this thing is pretty decent to me. Furthermore, this keyboard has all of the RGB lighting effects.
Show your colors with MSI Mystic Light in 6 different zones. Clearly indicated hotkeys let you control the LED effects, brightness and speed without having to install any software. Using the MSI Dragon Center software offers more detailed control and additional customization.
Whoa, this is some serious stuff offered by MSI here. But I will not replace it with my Black Widow Elite keyboard since it's a much better choice. One thing I didn't like about this keyboard is the position of my hand when I'm using it. My hand is getting tired after a few minutes of using the keyboard due to the angle of my wrist constantly having to bend up to reach the keys. Well, what about the GM11 mouse that's included in the box? First of all, it is really light. But I don't really like the clicking experience much since I've been used to using the Alienware mouse. Honestly, it's up to personal preference. Do you enjoy using a fast clicking and a soft touch mouse? Or do you prefer a premium feel and a loud clicking? Let me know in a comment down below what you think. Build quality, it is definitely plastic, but it's pretty sturdy to me. Dragon logo printed on the front and back, and it does light up when plugged in. The GM11 comes with 7 different lighting effects that you can adjust based on your preference. Simply by clicking the scrolling wheel button and cursor speed, you can change the effect. You have the steady, breathe, wave, radar, horizon, ripple, reactive, and can be customized in the MSI Dragon Center. So there is our free MSI gaming keyboard and mouse combo. I think this is a very solid set of peripherals that gives a gamery RGB vibe. Regardless, I'm still going to stick with my Alienware mouse and Razer keyboard since it's better in my opinion. Okay, moving on to our MSI Infinite S. This isn't the smallest PC MSI ever made, but it's definitely packed with some really decent power. The one I got here is the lowest model equipped with the Core i5-10400F GTX1650 Super, 8GB of RAM and 512GB SSD. I strongly recommend you getting the lowest model too. Anything above that like the Core i7, GTX1660 all the way up to RTX 2060 will not be ideal. Why? Isn't the stronger the spec, the better and more powerful gaming experience you'll get? Well, it is, but to an extent. I don't think there should be much difference between GPU powers on those variations due to the power supply, or the PSU is limited to 350 watts. NVIDIA recommends the system to have 350 watts of power supply for the GTX1650 S to run at its full potential. The GTX1660 Super recommends to have 450 watts. Therefore, any GPU higher than the 1650 Super, its performance will be limited due to the insufficient power supply. And no, you cannot update the PSU because it has to fit in such a small case. Okay, let's get all the specs out of the way. For the appearance, the MSI Infinite S is very compact and nothing cool and special beside that. It has MSI's signature dragon logo and a stripe of RGB line running down. I think the RGB lights is customizable on the Dragon Command Center. On the side of the chassis, we can see the GPU through these holes. The holes are made to dissipate all the hot air inside out. Talking about cooling, this PC uses the Silent Storm cooling, which essentially split the CPU and GPU into 2 different chambers. This results in better thermal, but it still runs decently quiet. I will test its performance and cooling in a second. The feel of the PC is actually very pleasant too. Besides the front made of reflective plastic, the rest of the PC has the same feel on it. For I/O, we have one USB-C and USB port on the front with headset connections. On the back, whoa, I don't know who would need this much audio connection. Anyways, 4 USB-A LAN port, 1 HDMI and another 2 USB-A. So the GPU has a display port, a HDMI and what? A DVI port? Anyways, if you're planning to play games and want to achieve a high frame rate, make sure you plug the display port on the GPU to the monitor. For MOBA and some FPS type of games, the literally MSI Infinite S PC can easily run those titles at 180 FPS or above in CSGO and Valorant on max setting at 1080p. Movements in game are very fluent, so make sure you have a 144Hz or above monitor to keep up with the pace with this PC. For the AAA title, that's where things get a little lagging and struggles to retain above 60 FPS for specs and this PC. I mean, the price justifies its performance, right? Only equipped with the Core i5, 8GB of RAM, and GTX1650 Super wouldn't surprise me at all if this struggles to run AAA's title. I have tested Watch Dogs Legion and the results aren't that great. With the medium to low setting, I am only able to achieve a consistent 60 FPS or below. Going from a 240Hz monitor to playing games at 60 FPS is a really big jump back and very noticeable. Regardless, it is still playable, but you don't get the best experience with the expensive machine though. For thermal, I was shocked at how this PC can retain frame rate so well while only staying at 7 degrees maximum. After an hour of playing CSGO, the frame rate retained at around 180 while CPU temperature never hit 70 degrees. Fair noise is definitely impressive too. It is almost unnoticeable when playing games or editing videos. So MSI's Silent Storm cooler is definitely not a gimmick. Opening up the PC is actually pretty easy. All we need to do is remove 2 screws in here and open up the chassis. When you push backwards and slightly bend the case to lift it up. But be careful, there is a factory seal on one of the screws. I actually broke mine to show you guys the quick teardown of the PC. Here we can see the MSI custom ITX motherboard. On the opposite side is the CPU. So here is a free RAM slot and our SSD slot, which you can also upgrade in the future. It's pretty easy. You just have a SODIMM RAM, just install it in the free slot. I recommend installing another 8GB RAM so it can run in dual channel. Over the other chamber here is our GPU, 1650 Super and our 350 watts power supply. During my investigation, I can see that MSI uses 2 copper heat pipes to improve thermal rather than just the normal fan cooling method. Getting so intrigued, I decided to open up this GPU to have a clear sight of the cooling system. By opening several screws, I managed to lock myself in there, unplug the pin and push it down. That's it. We can see 2 copper pipes on the GPU on top and the one on the bottom. The CPU also has 2 pipes plus normal fans cooling, preventing throttles. There's our pre-installed RAM and Wi-Fi 6 card. Whoa, definitely some decent custom cooling there by MSI. They call it Silent Storm cooling. Up there is the hard drive. I just installed another 4TB drive for extra storage. It's pretty easy too. Just plug the connector line with the hard drive. So for me, this MSI is a good budget PC that can get you straight into gaming, but to an extent. With the introduction of the 30th RTX GPU makes these guys less appealing to many users who are seeking for a piece of technology that can keep up pace with modern standards in 4 to 5 years' time. Well, there's my review on this MSI Infinite S PC. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe if you have any questions. And my part is done now. I'll see you guys in the next voyage. Bye!